In an age where celebrity culture is more accessible than ever, fans feel closer to their idols through social media, concerts, and behind-the-scenes content. Most interactions remain innocent, with admiration and support being the common denominators. However, there are times when that admiration becomes obsession, and the fantasy of closeness turns into a dangerous fixation. This article explores chilling real-life cases where fame became fatal, and the very fans who once adored their idols ultimately became their killers. Mark David Chapman and the death of John Lennon. John Lennon, a founding member of the Beatles, was a symbol of peace, music, and revolution. But on December 8, 1980, Lennon was gunned down outside his New York City home by a man who once idolized him, Mark David Chapman. Born in 1955, Chapman was a socially withdrawn individual with a vivid imagination. As a child, he created fantasy worlds to escape a turbulent family life marked by emotional neglect and abuse. Despite becoming a born-again Christian and seemingly turning his life around, Chapman struggled with depression and delusional thinking. Initially a fan of Lennon, Chapman's admiration soured as he grew increasingly religious and perceived Lennon as a hypocrite, particularly fixated on Lennon's controversial comment that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. Chapman viewed Lennon as a phony, echoing the sentiments of Holden Caulfield, the main character in J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye, a book Chapman clung to obsessively. Chapman flew to New York with a .38 revolver and a copy of The Catcher in the Rye in hand. On the morning of the murder, he even asked Lennon for an autograph, only to return later that night and shoot him 4 times in the back. Lennon died shortly after at the hospital. When police arrived, Chapman sat reading The Catcher in the Rye, having inscribed inside it, "This is my statement." Chapman's trial led to a sentence of 20 years to life. His actions demonstrated how toxic admiration, mixed with mental illness and ideological obsession, can turn a devoted fan into a cold-blooded killer. His story also ignited conversations around the mental health system and whether warning signs could have been caught earlier. Kevin James Loibl and the murder of Christina Grimmie. Christina Grimmie rose to fame as a YouTube star and finalist on The Voice. With a humble attitude, immense talent, and genuine connection to her fans, she became a beloved figure to many, including Kevin James Loibl. Loibl, a 27-year-old from St. Petersburg, Florida, was a reclusive and isolated individual. He became infatuated with Grimmie, convinced they shared a spiritual connection despite having never met. He drastically changed his appearance for her, undergoing LASIK, whitening his teeth, going vegan, and getting hair implants. Loibl became unhinged when he saw Grimmie with other men. In June 2016, he traveled to Orlando with 2 handguns and a knife. At a meet and greet following one of her concerts, Grimmie opened her arms to hug him, and he fatally shot her at point-blank range. Grimmie's brother tackled Loibl, who then shot himself. The murder stunned the world. Grimmie was only 22. In response, her family created the Christina Grimmie Foundation to support victims of gun violence. Her death highlighted the dangers of parasocial relationships, where fans believe they share an intimate bond with celebrities, leading to devastating consequences when that illusion shatters. The incident also raised questions about venue security. At the time, many meet and greets lacked metal detectors or comprehensive bag checks. After her death, policies at entertainment venues began to evolve, prioritizing artist and fan safety in new and necessary ways. Robert John Bardo and the slaying of Rebecca Schaeffer. Rebecca Schaeffer was a rising star in the 1980s, known for her role in the sitcom My Sister Sam. With her wholesome image and girl-next-door charm, she became the object of obsession for Robert John Bardo. Bardo, a mentally ill young man with a history of institutionalization, had stalked other celebrities before fixating on Schaeffer. He sent her letters and even hired a private investigator to find her home address through DMV records. His obsession turned dark when he saw Schaeffer in a movie scene he found too provocative. Convinced she had betrayed her innocence, Bardo traveled to Los Angeles with a gun. On July 18, 1989, he knocked on her door, and when she kindly asked him not to return, he left. But he came back hours later and fatally shot her in the chest. Schaeffer was just 21. Her murder prompted national outrage and led to major legal reforms, including California's first anti-stalking laws and the Driver's Privacy Protection Act of 1994. It also led to the creation of LAPD's Threat Management Unit, changing how authorities handle celebrity stalking cases. Bardo's case revealed the fragility of privacy in the digital age. Today, the idea that a private investigator could access a celebrity's home address through public records seems unthinkable. Yet this very breach led to one of the most tragic killings in Hollywood history. Yolanda Saldivar and the betrayal of Selena Quintanilla. Selena Quintanilla, the queen of Tejano music, was a beloved icon in the Latin music world. By age 23, she was a Grammy-winning singer, fashion designer, and cultural trailblazer. But her life was tragically cut short by someone within her trusted circle, her fan club president and boutique manager, Yolanda Saldivar. Saldivar appeared loyal and professional, but was eventually discovered to be embezzling over $30,000 from Selena's fan club and businesses. Despite being fired, Selena continued communicating with her, hoping to recover important financial documents. On March 31, 1995, Selena met Saldivar at a motel in Corpus Christi. During their conversation, Saldivar pulled out a revolver and shot Selena in the shoulder, severing an artery. Selena managed to identify her killer before collapsing. She died shortly after. The public reaction was immense. Over 60,000 people attended her memorial, and she was posthumously honored with a biopic, a museum, and numerous awards. Her death revealed the perils of misplaced trust, and how fame can attract not just admiration, but deadly envy and control. Selena's tragic end also spurred nationwide debates on celebrity security, especially for women of color and Latinx entertainers. Her story has since become a cornerstone in discussions around representation, safety, and justice in the entertainment industry. The fine line between love and obsession. These tragic cases all share a disturbing theme: love turned lethal. Each killer once adored their victim, yet their admiration twisted into possessiveness, resentment, or entitlement. What began as fan devotion morphed into toxic obsession, fueled by personal instability, mental illness, and distorted fantasies. In many instances, these individuals viewed their favorite celebrities not as people but as projections of their own desires and needs. When reality didn't align with fantasy, the result was rage and violence. This underscores a broader issue in modern culture: parasocial relationships, where one side knows everything about the other, but the feeling isn't mutual, are increasingly common. Most fans can navigate this boundary, but for a troubled few, the illusion of intimacy becomes too real. In the age of social media, celebrities are expected to share more of their lives than ever before. While this transparency can foster connection, it also blurs the lines between public persona and private self. For the mentally unstable, those blurred lines can become dangerous triggers. Aftermath and legacy. The deaths of John Lennon, Christina Grimmie, Rebecca Schaeffer, and Selena each triggered cultural and legal shifts. From anti-stalking legislation to improved venue security and public conversations about mental health and celebrity, their tragedies weren't in vain. Each of these stars left behind not just fans, but movements. Their music, art, and activism continue to influence millions, and their deaths serve as chilling reminders of what can happen when admiration goes unchecked. Additionally, these cases have influenced how public figures engage with fans and how society views celebrity. Some stars now take greater control of their privacy, while others work closely with security professionals to navigate interactions safely. Fame, once seen purely as a dream, now comes with a more sobering set of responsibilities and risks. If you enjoy this video into true crime, celebrity culture, and the psychology behind it all, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.